Tisha B'Av, the Bet HaMikdash was destroyed. So I said to her, what's it like? She started thinking. I said, imagine you live in a house, your grandparents, your great-grandparents own the house. It's all top-notch, everything built the right way. Somebody comes and storms into your house, picks you up, beats you up, smacks you up, and throws you on the street, and you are to stay there right outside, looking at your house and wanting to come in. But as if every time you try to have an attempt of coming in, you only have problems. And you're waiting like this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 2,000 years, 2,000 bitter years. All of us, including the Shekhinah, is thrown out. Just to give you an idea of how people were sensitive once upon a time, many years ago, the Gemara says in Masechet Ta'anit, the famous story with Choni HaMe'agel. Choni HaMe'agel read the Shira Ma'alot in Tehillim that we read right now before the Kaddish of Yesh Tamah. He said, how could it be that people said that when they came to the land of Babel, they came there, it says they were dreaming away for 70 years. They refused to wake up. So Yochanan HaMe'agel said it's impossible. How can a person sleep for 70 years? Sleep for 70 years? Chazal say, he opened his mouth and he wanted to know, I want to know what it's like. Hashem said, your wish is my command. You got it. He says, Choni HaMe'agel was once traveling. He came to a certain spot. A person was planting carrot trees. This carrot tree specifically gives fruit 70 years later. And he saw a person planting such a tree. He says to him, my dear son, you're planting this tree. When is the fruit coming? I can't wait. He says, no, Rabbi. He says, 70 years. He says, you so sure you're going to live 70 years? He says to me, live 70 years? No. So why are you doing it? Who does this? Imagine somebody says, I'm doing something. Like a lot of people here in this area, they build homes. 12 years, 13 years, they're waiting outside. Trying to get in one day. Because I hope they're paying all their mortgage and trying to get in, finally get in. You know, I hope you really get all the pleasures of this house. Bezrat Hashem, Bezrat Hashem. But it's very devastating. I'm sure the person who's building the house, he eats himself away also. Like say, I thought 2-3 years I'll be in. But 13, 14 years? Come on. Okay, that's not the subject. The Choni HaMe'agel said to him, you're going to live 70 years? What are you doing? He says to him, listen, he says, I'm not sure if I will live 70 years. But I know one thing for sure. That when I came to this world, my grandparents thought about me. And they planted such a tree for me. If they did it for me, just like they did it for me, I want to do it for my children. Chazal say, Choni HaMe'agel sat down over there, wanted to rest out from all the travels. He falls asleep. Hashem makes a big miracle. A huge rock comes out, covers him away. He had his pregnant donkey over there at the time with him, what he was using for travels. And somehow, when he finally woke up, he opens his eyes, he sees there's an army of donkeys born. And then he sees the person standing under the tree picking the carrots. He said to him, tell me, are you the one who planted this tree? He says, no. He says, my grandfather. He says, why? He says, must be I slept for 70 years. Guys, I want to understand something. A lot of people that came to the Galut, they said to themselves, you know what? Na binam, na shoza. I don't want to see it. I don't want to be there. So if I have to be thrown out of my home, out of Yerushalayim, out of Eretz Yisrael, and to be thrown out like this, and I have to be outside of, far away from the performance of the mitzvot, of all the losses that we are going through right now. Imagine not performing mitzvot. Like telling a guy tomorrow, you know what, you're going to skip tomorrow putting on tefillin. You're taking his heart out of him. What do you mean I'm not going to put on tefillin tomorrow? But the person who goes ahead and he's thrown into Galut for 70 years, he says, you know what, I am not interested. A lot of people, as soon as they came to the land of Babel, they simply fell asleep. Not one person, not two people. They slept. Said, do me a favor, wake me up when it's over. And when 70 years were done, these people got up and ran back home. They ran back home, back to Yerushalayim, back to Eretz Yisrael. This is one idea of us to understand what Galut is. Galut is not about building beautiful homes. Galut is not about having beautiful cars, established businesses. This is not what it's true. We have to have money. We have to be wealthy. It's 100% true. But deep down in our hearts, we have to say to ourselves, I wish I only slept through it. Can't sleep for 2,000 years. Too long of a time. That's one thing that I wanted us to have an idea of leaving Tisha B'Av, coming to ourselves and saying to ourselves, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I running after? Set your goals right. Make sure you're heading in the right direction. Another small story quickly. We have 1 minute left. There was a famous story. It was one big house that was once built And that house, they did so many mitzvot, so many poor people, so many hungry people got to eat from. Rav Tanchum Bar Chanilai. The Gemara says one time Ula and Rav Chisda were traveling. And one rabbi says, what a loss. He sees a house destroyed completely. He says, why are you sighing? You're not allowed to. You can't sigh, you can't be sad, you're not allowed to stress. He said to him, Rabbi, how can I not? Take a look. The final conclusion, he told him, listen, he says to me, I don't care. If you feel bad over such a home, how much more so you have to feel bad over Hashem's home. And the Yola ever check, when you see a big tzaddik, a big rabbi, has a total loss, devastations, and everything just crashes in his life. You know why? Because it's only befitting a slave, a servant, to be just like his master. If a master doesn't have a home, the tzaddikim, the people who are close to him, also have that concept of not having a home. We have to have these remembrances. We have to have these remembrances. As the Chazal said, Tzion doresh en la. We have to always that drisha, that seeking, the rebuilding of Yerushalayim, and having things that say, you know what? You see things that are imperfect, say, you know what? The Churban Bayit. Let it be a remembrance for that. Let it be a remembrance. We should not be living in a perfect world if the world is not perfect. And that is the idea that we take along with us also for the Shabbat.